Friends, before we get into today's video, I want to do a quick giveaway. I've got one of these Wi-Fi extensions, actually two of them, so we'll send out two. I want to share this with you guys. If you like and subscribe, I'll put a link below to a giveaway. I'll send you guys one of these next week, so we'll give it a week. Make sure you liked and subscribed, and we'll give away these TP-Link things, not this box. I've got a fresh new one for you. It's a 300 megabits Wi-Fi range extender, so I know a bunch of you guys have got questions about how to extend your range of your Wi-Fi. This will certainly help. It's really easy to use. I've got a couple around my house, and let's get into it now. Bye! Hello friends, it's Techman Pat, and welcome to the new month. It is August, and we have some news for you. For myself, it's been a very busy July. Lots of house renovations, you know, the classic Bunnings home DIY. I could potentially start a series of videos on that, but I am not going to, because this is what we're doing. This is news. Now, in the new month, like any other day, there are news to chat about, and of course, stuff to complain about, and even some dodgy commercial deals that are going on. Let's start off with some thoughts I had on the National Press Club address by Andrew Penn, or as he likes to be known as Andy Penn. Now, overall, he was well spoken and he stayed fairly safe in his words, and he made some clever and clear points in regards to what the nation needs. He spoke about the way our communication infrastructure is regulated and how the red tape holds companies like Telstra back. Let's have a quick listen of this snippet I chose.
So what does all of this mean for Australia, and what do we need to do and to be thinking about right now to make sure that we are ready? It is crucial that Australia's telecommunications networks are up to the job and world leading. Now, telecommunications is already an intensely regulated industry, so much so that there are actually provisions in the Competition and Consumer Act specifically dedicated to the sector. Telstra itself is governed by its own Act of Parliament. These principles, therefore, are important so that we can free up some of the red tape and anomalies that run the risk of holding our sector back. There is no point having application developers, software engineers, managed service providers investing in great products and services if the network providers do not have the capacity or the incentive to invest in the communication platforms that support them. Now, of course, the NBN has been a big contributor to this investment, but actually more than half of it is coming from other sources, including operators such as Telstra.
This is the same language the USA lawmakers used to deconstruct the Title II regulation of net neutrality. Don't be fooled. The language here is trying potentially to get rid of that regulation, and it will not help consumers, as he says. I don't want to go into the whole 1 hour long speech, but the gist is, well, 5G is the future, and everything else is kind of old school. I will add the link below, and you can watch that on iView. Let me know your thoughts on that. And look, on balance, he did make some great points. He's not wrong in many ways, but his plans and ideas are always going to be governed by Telstra shareholders. When he said, what is the point of having great technical minds creating new fantastic technology when the infrastructure of the country can't even handle it? I was impressed. Just look at how many businesses right now are having trouble using a simple technology like landline phones via the NBN. Just the other day, on the much-loved ACA, Linda Ayers, who owns a Cosmopolitan Hair in Brisbane, claimed her livelihood was under threat after she missed out on being connected to the NBN. Now, losing out on her phone line and internet with a 5-month wait till a potential connection, how is that possible? Could it be that she ignored all those leaflets, or could it be that the process is just not well structured? Actually, I did laugh at some of her comments though. She said, after speaking to Telstra, it's like dealing with children. You can't get any sense out of anybody. 4 different Telstra people have told me 4 different things. I've been told I've slipped through the cracks, and it's very rare, but that doesn't do my business a lot of good. In the past, Telstra Wholesale has failed to reconnect legacy services after a failed NBN installation. In this case, for those 5 months, she could potentially go back to ADSL. Now, despite requests from internet retailers and directions from the ACCC, the NBN service continuity standard introduced last year supposedly breaks that deadlock. Not sure if it will apply in this case, but in the past, people have had their ADSL reconnected, but only after going to the media. So there is some remedy for her. And she has a point. And this really shouldn't happen. Telstra should do better. If you remember last week, we talked about how Andy likes his overseas call centers. So here's an example of one of those call centers. In any case, let's move on. So out of the NBN camp, we have some changes coming to management, but also not really, and you'll realize why. NBN Co's Chief Strategy Officer JB Russelot is leaving after 6 years. Also, what sort of name is JB? Can anyone enlighten me? First time hearing it. Does it stand for a full name? Is it an initial? I had a friend once from Japan whose name was Lee, so L-I, and he had issues signing up to stuff online because the first name box always had a requirement of more than 2 letters. I wonder if that's an issue when you sign up to the NBN. Now, in keeping of the Telstra theme here, Mr. Russelot is a former Telstra executive. But wait till you hear what happens next. The person who will be replacing him is also a Telstra veteran. After 21 years at Telstra's Wholesale and Business division, Will Irving will be taking the reins at NBN Co. Now, look, all jokes aside, when you have an interview, they usually ask about your previous experience and if they are similar. And unfortunately, there's only so many large telcos in Australia and not that many candidates. So let's hope that as the new strategy and transformation officer, Irving brings all the good things from Telstra to NBN Co. I wish him well in the future and in his position. It's not an easy ship to sail in the current seas of 5G, privacy and piracy. Now, last week we talked about the wholesale prices of the NBN going up due to the way the CVC is charged. And like many telcos have said, either reduce the costs, for example by $20 per plan, or scrap the CVC altogether and just charge per connection. Well, Andy Penn had some swell words for NBN last week, and now NBN boss Stephen Rue has hit back at the claim, saying criticism that the business model creates an unsustainable industry are unfounded. He said, "We continue to listen to industry feedback to hold regular pricing consultation with our retailers and to amend our wholesale pricing structures when it makes sense to do so." All in all, Rue said that to make sure the nation is able to sustain the costs, they have reduced them already. After all, the pricing is based on that $50 billion spent on the NBN already. And on that point, RSPs like Aussie Broadband are also calling for the CVC inclusions to at least double due to the data usage of Australians. Downloads via fixed broadband over the 24 months between 2017 and 2019 as customers switched from ADSL to NBN jumped by nearly 50%. Now, in 2011, we hit 500,000 terabytes of data, and in 2018, it has reached 4 million terabytes of data, and now in 2019, it has almost doubled. Now, a lot of this is due to video and video at higher quality. Think 4K streaming, think more content to consume. In general, we have so many subscriptions, we have so many ways to consume it, the actual number of subscribers hasn't changed as dramatically. So now to end this news segment on a high note, I wanted to talk to you about a new feature that NBN Co has suggested to its RSPs. And this is not a joke. While I could fit into an Onion article, it's actually reality as far as NBN Co's reality goes. It is called auto provisioning, kind of like that service from your mobile provider. When you go over your data limit, they automatically charge you, let's say $10 for 1 gig, which lasts about 2 seconds. So you then end up getting another $10 gig charge. Somehow those gigs are a lot faster, and then all the other data you had felt a lot slower. It's as if they bump up your speed so you can use that up quicker and charge you more. So NBN Co is offering to manage the amount of bandwidth that RSPs buy and automatically sell them more. Yep, just like that, NBN Co fixed the problem with CVC. Let's give them a round of applause. RSPs won't be able to buy less and save on costs. Nope, they'll be automatically bumped up and sold more, similar to handing your credit card to all the shops in Westfield before you go in and buy stuff. Alright friends, thank you very much for watching. We've had a bunch of little bits and pieces today. Hope you are having a great weekend, and obviously the rest of that weekend. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.